Reddit is full of dark secrets and stories that will keep you up at night. I guarantee you the number one story is really creepy and disturbing, and you may have heard about it. Programming guru or pedo. One of the things that made YouTube popular, gurus were the people who taught us how to do everything, from cooking to fixing things. On Reddit, there are thousands of gurus. They are the most famous people, but the number one, the most loved, the most revered, was a guy named Carl from Carl Programming. This is his YouTube channel. He had a Reddit page that was world famous for helping people with computer problems. Carl quickly became one of the most loved, if not the most loved, user on Reddit, until one day, everyone's jaw dropped. The news spread all over the media. Carl was not only the leader of one of the largest internet pedo network in the world, but he was also abusing and torturing his 10-year-old son, making him pose and be violated by other men, just to get adult material. Never doubt anyone on the internet. Horrible fantasies. Here's where a really dangerous psycho shows up. The one who made his most horrible fantasies come true. David Michael Kallax was a frequent poster on 4chan. However, he saved the best for Reddit. He made countless posts promising that one day he would kill his partner. Everyone took him for another loser, until one day he did it. The guy created a post on Reddit and started posting pictures of his murdered wife. The guy knew they were going to catch him. He turned himself in. He wanted to share the photos before being arrested. Imagine what kind of mind it takes for someone's top priority to be winning an argument on the internet against all those who thought he would never have the guts to do what he did, the courage to kill his wife and share the photos. Want to know more? The guy now faces another sentence after trying to kill his cellmate. The rescue. 3 users met on this Reddit forum. They shared the same hobby, mountain climbing. Time passed, they became friends, and one day, they decided to go together to climb a particularly high mountain range in Santa Barbara, California. During the trip, the 3, using their cell phones, made a promise. There was a post on Reddit where they started posting real-time photos of their adventure, while people made comments and jokes. The moment of truth began soon, climbing the mountain. That's when they obviously took more photos to share with people. It was then when one of the 3 friends shouted for the rest to stop immediately. Apparently, a Reddit user, looking at the photos, saw something strange and circled it for them to notice. You can see it too. It turns out that a guy noticed, almost by chance, that there was a severely injured person among the bushes, and immediately they were alerted. The 3 guys went to check the area and found a severely injured woman. They immediately called 911 and managed to save her life in a matter of hours. The girl, who was also a climber, had been there all night and screamed until she passed out. The young men took photos of the rescue, and the post quickly became the number 1 on all of Reddit. Accidental push. A user asked, for those who accidentally killed someone, what went wrong? The post had over 10,000 comments, most of which were stories of users who had killed or severely injured someone in common situations like car accidents. But one story stood out. A user shared an incident with a mentally incapacitated child when he was younger. The post was removed, but a user managed to save the original post. And what he revealed is chilling. This still haunts me to this day. When we were kids, we had a hideout on a dirt cliff cave. There was a kid in the neighborhood who probably had some mental disability, but to us, he was just the weird and creepy kid. This was in the 80s. We were heading to our base and found this weird kid sitting in our lookout chair. We yelled at him to get out and he said something like, "Come and make me," and started throwing dirt, rocks, and sticks. It gets a bit hazy here, but all I remember is that he fell. I still remember the sound that never left my head. We went down to see how he was. He was in a very strange position with blood coming out of his mouth. We freaked out and ran in panic, and as far as I know, no one said a word about it to anyone. We didn't go back there for over a month and never spoke a word about it among ourselves. The user's post received a few thousand upvotes and hundreds of comments questioning his motives and trying to figure out everything they could about the situation. Most assumed that he and his friends ended up bullying and pushing the kid off the cliff. The next morning, the user came back and added information to his post. Well, I didn't expect to wake up to this. I have no idea why we didn't collectively tell our parents. We all just ran to our respective homes without saying a word. I guess it was mostly because he was the weird kid, and we all thought it would get us in trouble somehow. No, I don't think we were directly responsible. Indirectly, maybe. Again, it's hazy. I don't know if he actually died or not that day. A user tried to solve this case and linked it to Scott Kleischolt, a 9-year-old boy who disappeared in 1988. While many users felt that the body should have been easily found when the police conducted a thorough search, the original post mentioned that a major storm was coming when they left the scene. It was just before a heavy storm swept through the area. Some Redditors argued that the storm might have washed the boy's body into a river or forest at the bottom of the trails. Self-defense or murder? This post is very disturbing in its details. The post was made 9 years ago when a user created a disposable account and responded to a post, "Redditors who had to kill in self-defense. Did you recover psychologically? What's it like to live knowing you killed someone, whether or not you intended to?" But the story he told the world wasn't the best. He had a wife and a 2-year-old daughter, and they lived in a 2-story house. The user says he played games with headphones and didn't hear much around him while playing. He said, "On a quiet Saturday morning, I was in my office playing Command & Conquer on my computer with my headphones on. I was probably playing for an hour or more when, during a particularly quiet moment, I vaguely heard my wife scream downstairs. Knowing she was downstairs with our daughter, I took off my headphones to see if she needed help with something. I'll never forget what I heard when I took them off. I heard a man's voice with a strong Mexican accent shouting, 'Stop screaming, bitch, or I'll—' My daughter was crying loudly. I wasn't making decisions, just acting. I don't even remember taking the revolver out of the locked box in my desk. I just remember walking down the stairs slowly, afraid to see my wife dead. When I got to the bottom, I saw my wife, half naked, bent over the couch, bleeding from somewhere in her upper body while being raped by some burly guy." In the following moments, the user's instincts just kicked in as he quietly walked up to the guy. He shot him 3 times before simply dropping the gun and going to get his daughter. He explained that it wasn't the fact that he killed this man that disturbed him, but the fact that his 2-year-old daughter watched her father kill someone. He explained that he didn't even check on his wife because he was in shock, just grabbed his daughter and walked out the front door. The neighbors had heard the shots and called the police. The neighbors asked if he had shot her, and he said no. No, he shot the man who was raping her. His wife had been stabbed twice, and the intruder had raped her for 10 minutes before the husband heard what happened. He said he was upstairs and had no idea what was going on, and this fact haunted him for years. The intruder was a man who had been convicted of 2 similar cases, one of which with an 11-year-old girl. The police explained that they weren't very happy with the circumstances, as the intruder hadn't specifically attacked him, so it was more of an execution than a defense when the husband shot him. In the comments, the user explained that his wife never blamed him for anything that happened that day, but he blamed himself. He felt like a total failure as a father and husband for a long time. The Reddit posts we delved into today were gruesome. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked the video so you don't get accidentally pushed around, smash the like button and take off your headphones to comment. You never know. Which of these stories I told you was the most gruesome for you? Do you have any scary or disturbing stories to share? Send me an email telling me about them, and I'll narrate them here on my channel. The email is pinned in the comments. It helps me out. If you didn't like it, well, tell me what I can improve next time. Hugs from your friend, Vulture.